So, Lucy got another new toy because I'm a child and I went to buy parts for this and came home with this. So, Lucy, obviously, she's a very happy puppy that she gets so many toys, right? Is that your favorite toy, Lucy? Yes, that's your favorite toy. Well, I think the X-Max is probably her favorite toy. But anywho, so I got this thing and she absolutely loved chasing around, had a blast. So I got this thing thinking that it was small enough to drive around the house. It's not. But quick review, I've driven her around, ripped it around. She loves chasing it. My neighbor's dogs love chasing it. My friend's dogs love chasing it. Everyone loves chasing it between these two. So it's a great time. So this thing, so the X Max is 1/5 scale, I think. This guy's like a 1/10 scale. So you could tell it's a wee bit, no, you can't, wee bit smaller than this that big guy. So it's way lighter, way more nimble, way funner to drive from a handling standpoint. Actually has sway bars. I don't know if you can tell, but it has sway bars, which is sweet. It's also all-wheel drive. This is the Slash Ultimate, I think, Ultimate whatever edition, 4x4. So this has like all the sweet hop-ups on it. It has a bunch of aluminum parts that the other ones don't come with. It's brushless. I think top speed's like 50, 60, something like that. The shocks are aluminum. These hubs, call those hubs, are aluminum. Still has plastic drive shafts. Like I said, it's all-wheel drive. It has like a low center of gravity, which is real sweet. You can see the drive shaft right here in the center of it. So the bottom is essentially just flat, right? So it sits really low, handles really, really well, and they actually make a kit for it where you can make it a monster slash, so you can put like bigger tires on it. Because you can totally tell the difference when you're like ripping around the yard with this thing compared to like this thing, just from like the bumps and the grass and stuff. The bonus on this one is when the body sits on it, it like covers the tires. So with this thing, the tires are exposed, and Lucy like runs like right behind it. So when we're done playing, her face is covered in mud and dirt and grass. So she looks hilarious. But with this thing, that doesn't happen so much. So after having it for a little bit, the main reasons I like it, it just has one battery, right? So it's easier to deal with, right? If you don't want to deal with like two batteries, it's way lighter. So if you like break it or something, you don't have to like lug around 25 pounds of stuff, plastic, whatever. This thing actually handles really, 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 really well. So it handles really well. So like when you turn, it turns and it goes. This thing just has like so much power that, not saying that it doesn't handle well, but compared to this thing, like, but right, they're like two different animals too. So it's like hard to compare the handling between the two, right? But anyway, so Traxxas Slash Ultimate, 2 thumbs up. I haven't broken this one so far, surprisingly. I'm guessing it's probably because it handles better. And probably that I haven't. Every time I crash this thing, it's like somewhere where I can't see it. I'm like, oh, it's fine. And then boom, tree, right? Or boom, bonfire pit, or something along those lines. But yeah, every time I've broken this thing, like I said, like the parts are cheap for it. Like every time you break it, parts are like $6 to, I don't know, $14. And they come apart and go together really, really well. And this Ultimate one, like when I bought that thing, I didn't ask like, hey, what are common things to break on it? When I bought this thing, I was like, hey, what's the most common thing that breaks on these things? And they're like, well, since you're getting the Ultimate, these hubs usually break, but these ones are aluminum, so they're not going to break. And they said the arms break. So I bought a set of arms, and I haven't broken them. But I also haven't jumped like 10 feet in there like I did with that one yet. So and now it's snowy and I'm too lazy to clean them, so we're probably just going to wait until spring to dry them again. But if you're looking for a sweet exercise toy for your dog, Slash Ultimate is very, very, very fun. And I don't know if this one happens like on the X-Max. I don't know if you remember, I got like a flat tire on these, and you don't really get a flat tire. It's just the foam messes up in them. They don't tell you from the factory if you drive it in like wet dirt or in wet conditions, water gets into wheels and tires, and that foam just like blows apart. And then you got to buy new tires and wheels, and it's annoying because it's annoying. So as soon as I got this one home, I threw little holes in the tires. So if you buy any remote control car that is fast, throw some holes in the tires so that way the wheels have holes inside of them so that it can like breathe, but there's no way for the water to like come out, right? So by putting holes in the outside perimeter of the tire, it'll kind of spit the water out as you're from the speed of the tire rotating. So yeah, the only changes I made on this thing, I put a fan on the ESC, so on the speed controller, because I asked them what brakes on these, and they're like, well, that gets hot. And then they said the motor gets hot. So supposedly this motor and fan, or this motor setup is pretty big for this little car, and it overheats. So put some little baby fans on there for the ESC and the motor. So I don't really pay attention to it. I just drive it, but I don't know. I haven't seen any issues with it overheating or anything like that. So pretty cool car. If you're looking for a toy for your dog to run around, I would highly suggest it. And you probably think that I play with them all the time, but I actually don't. I only play with them with Lucy because it's not that much fun just like playing with them. It's fun when like Lucy runs after them for some reason. I don't know. It's very entertaining, and Lucy really loves it. And she's tired today. She's very tired today. We went on 2 walks. So anyway, Slash Ultimate 4x4 made by Traxxas. Cool toy. Lucy loves it. 2 paws up. Would you give it 2 paws up or 4, Lucy? She said 4. 4 paws up for this one. 4 paws up for this one. So Lucy approves of them. So anyway, hope you have a great night, and let me know if you have any questions.